Hi guys, my name's Tracy Newman. I'm from the Navigators Tarot on Facebook and at the Navigators Tarot on Instagram. You can find me at YouTube as well and Sleepy Wisdom, and if you would like a personal reading you can always find me at my website sleepywisdom.com. So we're going to look at the feminine energies at the moment and just have a look and just see what the energies are at the moment on the earth plane. So we have a full moon in Aries, which is of course the traits of an Aries, of course, is one of boldness, courageousness, what else? Courage, I just said that. Sorry, the bin man is just replacing my bins. And direct, bold, direct communication. And I really feel that that is very, very important right now, and you'll probably begin to see and in your outer life as we begin to move into more truthful energies that are coming forward. There'll be a lot more direct communication with others, and also we'll start to begin to see it as well, you know, in our outer world. So that is going on at the moment. But I would also say that there is the feminine energies at the moment have been one of transformation, transmutation, but in the last few weeks. But it has required us to completely let go of who we thought we were. So identity loss, death in that form, you know, in that way of having our whole entire identity being removed from our burgeoning 5D lives. We've been letting go of an old world system and an old world structure, and both within and without. And the feminine energies have really gone through it in the last couple of weeks. A lot of feminines that I have spoken to, and also myself, have really felt not only the transformation but more the dying energies within, and they've actually been a little harrowing. But as we begin to move into these newer earth energies, we'll begin to see where we're going. We haven't actually been able to do that because these 5D energies are such that they require us to completely have faith and let go and move into trust, love, faith through the most difficult and harrowing times that we are now going through. And with, of course, having to leave those old energies of that 3D world, that 3D matrix, which has kept us very secure, even though sometimes in a completely unawake state, that now we are beginning to awaken and move up into these other energies. We are now having to let go of those old energies which gave us safety, which somehow gave us some sort of security, but now we're having to move into these completely new energies with nothing to hold on to. And it's quite disconcerting and a little bit not frightening, because it's not about that, but having to go through the actual death pangs of leaving a completely different realm of understanding into a completely new one. And it's been at times quite confusing, and at times requiring us to have a great amount of faith and trust in the process, even though it's quite difficult. It's been very difficult on every level. So that's where the feminines are at the moment. It's not about confusion, because I feel like that we're now probably moving into the deeper aspects of that which needs to be removed, and we are going very, very deep into those those energies, those dense energies, so that we can clear them and completely remove them from our lives. So yeah, that seems to be where the feminine is at the moment. It's actually a little, it's you know, even though there are these beautiful earth energies that are abounding on the earth right now, the feminine is really going through it, and on every level. But we do have the Ace of Swords, which is about the beginning of truth. And so, as I've said before, we're leaving our old world behind, and it requires us to be extremely truthful, not only with ourselves, but with others, you know, and everybody around us, because we are now moving into these lovely 5D energies. But to do that, to really manifest those beautiful 5D energies, it requires us to remove anything that is no longer going to serve us. And so that's why at the moment the feminines are really doing it tough, because we're having to let go completely of that 3D structure. The Earth too, as Gaia, is going through her own removal of dense energies and changing her architecture through the grid work. And through the grid lines, the dragon lines, they are all being worked on at this point in time to remove any of those denser aspects, but also to reverse those inversions that have been put in place over the last 26,000 years by a completely dark and dense regime and a controlling regime. So now we're moving out of those energies and moving into something so much more amazing. Yeah, but we just have to kind of go within, remove any more darker energies, and have faith and trust in ourselves and in the world, and pretty much the goddess Sophia in her pure form and the Christos in his pure form, because they're the energies that we're moving into now, removing any impurities and moving into a purer, less dense energy, lighter energy. And we have the Hanged Man, so we still do have a little bit of time before we move completely into this 5D world. But you can see there, she's hanging upside down. But if you look, there is this beautiful light behind her. So that's what she's moving into the beauty of the rose. The Beauty and the Beast movie often comes up in my psyche. I often watch The Beauty and the Beast. There's a lot of symbology of the divine masculine, divine feminine in The Beauty and the Beast, which I find really interesting. Yeah, so we're transforming into beautiful new earth energies. And yes, the Five of Pentacles, interesting, because this is where the feminine is right now. She's feeling quite left out in the cold from that 3D world that she once occupied. It no longer can, it has no real hold on her anymore. And but before she can transition completely into the new earth energies, it's sort of like the feminine is trapped between two worlds. It's like the death of the old, the birth of the new, but she's kind of linked like in the birth canal at the moment. Very interesting energies that are going on, but completely leaving that old 3D masculine world behind. So really interesting. So yeah, we'll see you next week. Be interesting to see. It's a very interesting time at the moment. Anyway, we'll see you next week.